Hello, club sponsors. Thank you for attending this meeting via PowerPoint and webcam web audio. I'm Abby Kuhlman, and I've got some information for you as club sponsors for 2018-2019. So, of course, welcome back and thank you. If you're a new sponsor, I also appreciate you willing to head up a club for us. It's really important for the students here, so I really appreciate your work. So I want to talk briefly about clubs at Arapahoe, and I know that most of you subscribe to this thought process given that you are sponsoring a club. But again, our district and school's goal is 100% of students feeling prepared for post-secondary opportunities. It's our distinct goal to give students as many options as possible to engage with their peers, be collaborative, become passionate about something that they care about, meet new people, and manage their time. And that being said, I'm honored to work with you in the support of all kids. I wanted to quickly define the difference between a co-curricular and a student-sponsored club and what those entail. Co-curricular clubs are generally your big ones, right, that support the academic pursuits of students alongside their passions additionally. So these things would be like DECA or Art Club or FBLA or drama club, potentially even. These big clubs might compete. They might require tryouts or applications, but they're ones that the district recognizes as co-curricular. Then there's student-sponsored clubs that are usually student-initiated, typically ones the students create on their own with their like-minded peers. These are smaller clubs, maybe meet in classrooms. There's no necessarily competition, but they do gather to discuss, create, play with their friends. However, the difference here is that if you are the sponsor of a student-initiated club, your students are responsible for getting an application for a student-initiated club. It's what I like to call the yellow packet, and students are required to fill one of those out before we initiate their club. I will show you that form on this presentation should your club representatives need to procure one to submit to the activities office. So here's some basic need-to-knows for your clubs. So the big one, of course, is Club Cafe. It's happening on September 5th, both lunches. If your club would like to participate, please let Alicia Peterson know no later than, of course, September 3rd, so that we can get the appropriate amount of tables and labels up during those lunches. I expect for great kids to sit at your tables if you cannot. I do expect that you as the sponsor are there at least during your lunch. Please just bring your lunch with you and you can sit at the table with your club sponsor heads. Obviously, if you cannot be there for both lunches, just make sure that you have a great student available to be at the station for when you are not supposed to be there. The goal, of course, for Club Cafe is for students to get a survey of what kinds of clubs we offer here at Arapahoe High School. So our goal is to include or invite as many students as possible to join all the fun that we have here at Arapahoe. So please turn no one away, explain the goals or what your club does, and you can have them sign up to join with a pen or paper or a Google form. Please be clear also with when your club is meeting or planning to meet this coming year. So you might, if you don't know that yet, because your student sponsors have not contacted you yet, that would be something to kind of get on the books so that when we do have Club Cafe, students have a clear time about when your club is going to meet. You can also bring some fun visuals, right? Like the last year, the rugby team, they all wore their team shirt. The math club had a problem for prospective students to solve. So if you want to make it a little bit more engaging at Club Cafe, you are certainly welcome to do so. We'll have music playing, we'll have it all set up, it's going to be great. But again, turn no one away and be clear on when your group is meeting. T-shirts for all clubs. We've run into a couple issues in the past, so I just want to make sure that we're clear on T-shirts have to be approved by the activities office. If you need suggestions for vendors for T-shirts, we can provide you with those. However, we cannot pay for the T-shirts. If you have a student-initiated club, we can't pay for the T-shirts. Students would have to buy them themselves. If you are a co-curricular club, you can buy them through your account budget. But again, smaller clubs that want to do T-shirts, they would have to either fundraise or buy them themselves. I do need to approve all T-shirt designs. So any flyers, announcements, or digital signage, again, all flyers have to be approved by my office with a stamp indicating approval. They have to be neat, typed, clean, affixed to appropriate places, affixed without tape showing, and taken down when the event or such is over. So again, I approve those just to ensure that those things are kind of followed, that There's not misspellings, there's not, hashtags that might be inappropriate. I just stamp it for approval. If they don't get stamps and they go up, the campus supervisors know to just take them down. So I would like to avoid that if possible. If you could just get me any flyers that are going up on lockers, for example, to be approved. Same thing for digital signage, we'll get to that, but announcements, co-curricular clubs can use the PA announcements, but student-initiated clubs cannot. For digital signage, this is for the TVs. When your group meets, we'll be putting on the weekly calendar that runs on the TVs. So again, a good reason for you to submit your yellow form or facility usage forms as soon as possible. If you do have a picture or a story of your club, please do send it to me. I'm really trying to change the ARAP Activities Twitter into something that's pretty active. So I'd love to include your club's picture on it, or you guys doing something that is related to your club. So just, again, take a picture on your cell phone, email it to me, text it to me, find a way to get it to me, and I'll tweet it out if possible. Eventually, is when the school year kind of gets going, if I get all these pictures, I'll start making kind of these random collages to play either on the TVs or the big projector in the cafeteria during the week. So take pictures, send them to me, and we'll get them up throughout the school. The homecoming parade, another big one that's coming up. Make a float. It's a big one. Our homecoming parade is something that's really, really positive for our community. It's a great way to promote your club and get kids working together on a pretty fun project. If you do plan to make a float, you probably got a flyer in your mailbox this last week. Please let Katie Abner or Jackie Price, our student council representatives for the executive council, let them know so that they can add you to the lineup and get you some information about the nuts and bolts of homecoming floats. Again, invite all new members, past members of your club to attend if you want to be part of the homecoming parade. It's a time-honored tradition to throw candy at this parade, so maybe run by Costco or something and grab a big thing of candy for the community. But it's just a great way to promote your club in a positive and creative way. Communication with your clubs. It's an important consideration, right? And we want to make sure that methods by which you disseminate club information is fair, clear, and consistent. Obviously, we would like to dissuade texting between you, the sponsor, and student club member, and opt instead for the following apps like GroupMe, which kids are most often on, or Remind.com, which they're familiar with as well, or Google Classroom. If you guys want to start a Google Classroom, kids are easily contacted that way as well. So again, we want to dissuade texting generally, but if you do have one of those free apps, you can start a group message. Obviously, disputes have happened in the past when a student feels excluded. So again, just ensure that your club has norms around open communication regarding the meeting times, events, and norms behind behavior, right? That would make everybody feel welcome in the club. So a couple quick important forms that you need to be aware of. These are the big ones where you can find them. So the building facility usage form is a big one. So anytime your club is meeting, we need to know where that's going to be. Number one, so that we can put it on the TVs for updates, but also so that we don't double book rooms and our custodians are aware that there's going to be usage after school or before school. So even if it's just a classroom, please submit a building or facility usage form. You can submit only one for the year if the information is not going to change. So if you're always going to be in 1475 for every Friday afternoon, you can just submit one and give us the dates so that we can do that. So you don't need to do one for every Friday that you meet. The building facility usage form, I'm going to click it real quick here. It looks like this. Please do submit these to Alicia Peterson and fill it out appropriately. You can either print it and do it in hard copy, or you can fill it out digitally and share it with her. Here's the yellow form I was talking about earlier. This is the application for a student-initiated group. Something right here. It's got a bunch of different pages to it. I've got the board policy linked to the hard copy in my office. But if you're a student-initiated club like the drone club or the environmental club, you do need to have your students fill out the student-initiated club form each year. Again, you can print it and do it in hard copy or make a digital copy and send it to Alicia. Or your students can do that as well. If your co-curricular club is taking a field trip, again, make sure you fill out the field trip requisition for Arapahoe. This can also be found on the staff intranet. it's got a lot of information about time, buses, who's going, things like that. This one's not in digital format yet. It's a fundraising project approval. So if your club is intending to run a fundraiser, please come grab a fundraising approval project from me or Alicia so that we can get that approved for your club. So a couple of other big players in the game. Greg Anderson is a big player in the club activity. He wants pictures so that he can put them in the yearbook, put them in the Herald, put them online as well. However, maybe most importantly, he needs you to sign up for a time that your group can take a yearbook photo. You have several options. These are important because we've already cleared it with Ian Ahern to get the photographers in the bleachers set up on these specific dates. So pick one of these 5. Please put it in your calendar so that we can get your yearbook photo taken as a club. Again, he's like me. Anything that's noteworthy your club is doing, to make sure to please send a picture to me or Greg so that we can tweet about it via ARAP activities or for Greg in his journalism Twitter and in his class. Laura Ronald is also a big player in the game in terms of a bookkeeper money stuff. So anything going for payment like reimbursement or invoices, she wants you to know it will take about 7 to 10 days to process. Any purchase orders that you have, we need links or pictures attached to any of those purchase orders and receipts that if you bought with your own credit card, we need an itemized receipts for reimbursement. Again, POs need to be approved by my office. We can't reimburse students, only you guys as staff members. Petty cash max is $50. If you need a cash box for an event or a sale, you'll want to talk to Laura directly with at least 2 or 3 days in advance of an event. And if you have more additional specific questions, Laura's an open book. She can give you as much information as possible to keep you apprised of any regulations. And then finally, I've bragged a lot about Alicia in these last couple weeks, but she's just absolutely fantastic, taking over for Rocky as my administrative assistant. If you have a purchase order or reimbursement or some kind of facility usage form or something to be approved, you can drop them all with Alicia. She will get them to me and I'll turn them around the day of, generally speaking. I was going to send you a Google form with the club details for your club, but it's not potentially necessary. I just want to let you know that Alicia is the person to drop things with if you can't find me. She's a great resource. She loves kids. She wants them to be successful as well, so she can help. She's a great extension of myself. So here are the big takeaways from this presentation. Just again, any ideas, forms, shirts, signs that are different, just get it approved by me. That's an easy way to move forward with your ideas. Club Cafe and the Homecoming Float participation is coming up. Just alert Alicia if you would like to participate in Club Cafe and Jackie Price for Homecoming Floats. Again, ensure that your communication with your club members is fair and reliable. Fill out any of the forms mentioned earlier for club initiation if you're student initiated. If you've got money questions, Laura's your go-to, and a reminder to take pictures and send them to me and or Greg Anderson. So this is kind of the end. I'll send this exact PowerPoint to you in addition to a Google form about your yearbook photos to sign up for so that you can access any forms as the year continues. And I can also send this PowerPoint out to new club sponsors as we get to know them. So again, I'll send this PowerPoint and a Google form so that you can peruse it at your leisure. Thank you again for what you do. You definitely make a difference for kids. If you've got any questions about the information provided to you today, please don't hesitate to send me an email or come find me directly in the activities office. Thanks so much.